Hello, viewers of Spell, and today we're going to do the first part of Midoriya was Minato's reincarnation and had chakra. Today we are also going to be doing this with hopefully very little editing, mostly because coming up I'm gonna have 2 days to do the editing on any of these, thanks to events happening. So, and that'll be for most of the summer. So, let's hope I can get this down in one shot. Otherwise, it's going to get really annoying. So we start off with Minato saying goodbye to Naruto, vanishing, and getting to the great beyond, with realizing that he was going to be reincarnated. He would accept this and enter a new body, and would be reborn as Izuku Midoriya. As Midoriya would get older, memories of his past life would fade, until they were just dreams and rough ideas. But things would take a change from canon, especially when he went to the quirk doctor and was told he was virtually quirkless. Izuku's mother said, "What do you mean by virtually?" The doctor pulling out some test results. "Well, you see, your child has a quirk, we think. It seems that his body has a natural amplification of a natural energy that was discovered in humans just a few years ago. But, outside of that, it does. We have no idea what it does. It's possible your child is basically quirkless, or that if it merges with another quirk, it will be powerful, but right now we have no clue." Inko would cry, as Izuku wouldn't be so shocked. At this point, he had still had vague memories. And so he started doing things. When they got home, instead of watching All Might videos, Midoriya would practice a couple things he remembered. Moving his hands, focusing to stick to walls. When his mother came in, a week later, his mother would come into his room to find him standing on the side of a wall. She'd be freaked out and surprised, as Izuku explained that he thinks he figured out what his quirk did. With some gestures or concentration, he could use the energy to do all kinds of things as he walked on the wall. And Inko's like, "Well, what else could you do?" As Izuku remembered a couple other things that he had begun writing down in his childish handbook. He quickly grabbed a small piece of paper and concentrated, as in the middle it started turning to embers. Inko would just look happy, not thinking much of it. But flash forward many years, as we would see in a classroom, the teacher would be saying, "I should probably be handing out these job aptitude tests, but who cares? We all know you're looking to be in the hero track," as everyone started using their quirks, except the two kids particularly, with Bakugo saying, "Don't let me in with these losers. Me and Kage," as Bakugo gets knocked down from his desk, as he said, "Ow! What do you do that for, Kage?" As Midoriya would respond, "Stop calling me Kage. I know I was the one who came up with it when I was a kid, but come on. And second off, stop drawing unnecessary attention." As Bakugo smirked, and he said, as he tried grabbing Midoriya, Midoriya flicked a rod up into the air and teleported to it. As Bakugo said, "Yes, this is the guy with the quirk that basically allows him to do several different things. Geez, if your quirk didn't have an explanation, I would just say you're using magic." As he just said, "Both of you, calm down. And get back to your seats before you cause another incident." As Midoriya said, "Sorry." as he remembered, as he remembered the last incident. He had been trying to think of something he could do. He remembered in the books and in the dreams war and a lot of other stuff. But one thing he did remember was being able to use hand signs, as he had become really good at it. And he remembered one, the ability to summon creatures, as he simply moved his hands in the correct gestures, eventually summoning something. A giant toad! Everyone completely freaked out at this, as the toad was about the size of a human and talked. The teachers completely freaked out. The pro hero who reacted completely freaked out, and the toad was also freaking out. And it could talk. That got Midoriya a good detention and, frankly, a lot of stares. The other... As Bakugo would just say, "Hey, Kage, wanna go out with me and the guys?" As Midoriya would turn around and say, "No, Kachan." As Bakugo would bark out, "Stop calling me that! Then stop calling me Kage." I don't even know why you're so upset about me using Kage. Because I don't even remember why we started calling me that. I don't even remember why you started calling me that. As Bakugo rolled his eyes. Because back when we were kids, we used to play a game that you came up with. It was called Ninjas in the Hokage or something like that. It was really fun, and you frequently was the Kage. As Midoriya just thought back and said, "Yeah, I kind of remember that, but why did I come up with such a weird game? And besides, I need to start looking at stuff to join UA." Oh yeah, the teacher didn't even get to that. You and I are both joining. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to be getting everyone in school angry at me for the last few months of it. So stop showing off in class. Yeah, right. Well, see you later, Kage. As Midoriya sighed, at least he stopped calling him Deku. As he put his stuff away and started walking home, as he decided to take the long way and walked under a bridge. As Midoriya walked under the bridge, a sludge creature would pop out of it and say, "Kurd, sorry, but there's a pro hero on my back and I'm gonna need to take your body." Midoriya saying, oh crap. As the sludge villain rushed at him, Midoriya would throw up a rod, as he would teleport to it, dodging the monster's attacks. As he just said, "I am not going to be doing this today." As the sludge villain would look at him and say, "Don't be so hasty, kid. Just make this quick and painless for you." As Midoriya threw down several rods, yelling, "Lightning style! Lightning rod strike!" As the rods would emit lightning, shocking him. Kurr! As the sludge villain would get electrocuted, it would get back up and say, "What's up with your quirk, kid? I thought you would teleport." As Midoriya would rush in, yelling, "Ra Sengon!" As it failed, Midoriya not mastering it yet. But it would still leave the sludge monster kind of stirred. As All Might would bust through in that moment, yelling, "Detroit Smash!" Luckily, Midoriya's survival instincts kicked in as he threw the rod away from the sludge villain, managing to teleport right in time not to get hit by the attack. "Are you one of this man's associates, or are you just a normal person who nearly got attacked by a villain. As Midoriya said, normal person, normal person! As All Might said, I'm glad to see that. I had been chasing this villain through the sewers for quite a while. And I know he attacked you, so I'm not gonna get after you for using your quirk in public. But may I ask what your quirk is, young man? As Midoriya said, oh, I call it chakra. As All Might just looked at him and said, chakra. As Midoriya said, yes, it's hard to explain, but I have an energy in my body I can manipulate to do a various number of things. As Midoriya would not explain any further. After Midoriya would explain his quirk, All Might would ask, young man, can you help me put this villain into these bottles for transport? Midoriya would say, yes, but could you sign my... And All Might said, sure, let's just get this villain up first. As they would quickly get the villain to the bottles, but All Might wouldn't notice that one of the bottles was damaged from when he was running around in the sewer. As he would sign Midoriya's notebook and say, are you thinking about being a pro hero, young man? As Midoriya would nod, yes, I'm planning going to UA. As All Might said, that is a prestigious school, but I'm sure they would be fine to have you. As All Might would cough, as he would say to himself, I'm running out of time, I gotta hurry. As he would say, I'll be seeing you off, young man. And I hope that you'll become a good hero. As All Might would launch away, Midoriya would say, something felt off about him, like he was in a really big hurry. But that shouldn't be a big issue. As Midoriya would continue walking, but would see an explosion in the distance, thinking, isn't that roughly in the direction All Might went in? As Midoriya said, I guess I'll go take some hero notes. As he would be using his chakra-enhanced strength and speed to be jumping off. As he was able to also use it like the ninjas of Naruto and travel fairly fast. As Midoriya would be jumping along, he would say, man, I have to really master that body flicker technique. It would make this a lot quicker. As he would arrive at the scene, as he would be shocked to see that it was the Sludge villain. He was sure All Might had handled it. It must have fallen out of his pocket or something. But why would All Might be so careless? But he would be more shocked to see that Bakugo was the one being used as a hostage. As he would take a second to look and see that the heroes that were there didn't have any of the right quirks to deal with the situation. As Midoriya would get ready and rush forward to save Bakugo. The heroes would see this and say, hey, someone stop the kid! As Midoriya would rush forward, as the Sludge villain would say, hey, you're the kid from earlier! As he would quickly swipe as he would use one of his techniques to try to attack Midoriya. Midoriya would dodge. As he would use a technique he remembered from his past life. As he would focus and say, I can do this. Rasengan! As a Rasengan would form, smashing into the Sludge villain's face. It would have pretty much take out the Sludge villain, scattering his head. As Bakugo said, seriously, you told me not to show off. As with Bakugo being able to breathe, he would quickly be able to use his explosions more effectively. As Bakugo said, hey, I wonder if you could teach me some of those moves. As Midoriya said, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd get in more trouble if we didn't get out of here. As the Sludge villain would reform and rush at them. as All Might would come in and with one punch handle the situation. All Might would have his smile on his face, but Midoriya would note that he looked pained, as Midoriya would get a scolding for using his quirk like that and rushing in. But the heroes weren't jerks. They weren't going to hold it against him. As Midoriya would be walking home, he would see a thin, pale, yellow-haired man who kind of looked a little vaguely familiar. As the man would say, are you Izuku Midoriya? As Midoriya would say, yes. As the man would say, good. I work with All Might. As he pulled out a card and said, and you would like me to tell you that the world needs more heroes who move in without thinking, who are willing to risk life and limb. As Midoriya would say, wow, that's... As he would be speechless. As Bakugo would walk up and say, who are you talking to? Oh, this guy worked with All Might, apparently. But he would say, but I don't know why All Might couldn't tell me this personally. As the man would cough. As he would stutter for a second. Well, you see, All Might can't really just tell people that using their quirks without proper licensing is good. It would be a scandal. Plus, he's currently dealing with a lot of reporters, you see. As this actually being All Might in a Small Might form would say, I think they bought it. As they'd say, yeah, I could see that. As All Might would think, yes, they bought it. As he said, are you both planning on going to UA? As they smiled and said, yes. As the man would simply say, well, I think both of you will make fine heroes. As he would go into the alley, thinking, I know Night Eye thinks he found the perfect successor, but I think I might hold off on giving it away to see how a couple other people do. After all, I can't judge whether or not a quirk will be good for someone in just one showing. I need to make sure their character's perfect. As this will be where we're leaving it off. Now I'm going to do a little less editing. I'm going to see if I can get this simplified because, I'm going to be really cut on time moving forward. But if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like more, please like down below. And comment whether or not you think I should try to do something with One for All. Or if Midoriya should just stick with the progression of power for someone like Minato. After all, Sage Mode is an option for him. As I hope to see you around, this will be Spellry, signing off.